Hello everyone. How are you all doing? Is everyone having a good night so far, or maybe afternoon if you're on the other side of the country from us? Can all of you hear me okay? Great. So, great. It's great seeing all of you. Have any of you done any of our late webinars before, or maybe our late lounges? Sounds fun. Yes, I recognize a lot of your names. Not late for me. No, it's not late for me either, but it is 7:30 in Florida, so it is late for me to be in the office, but still not too late. Oh, it's 4:30 there? Oh, wow. Yeah. Nope, not even close to 4:30 here. Well, great. Well, I'm glad that all of you are here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa. I'm over here at the Rhinestone World. I am the marketing manager, but I am also the resident silhouette queen. So I love everything about silhouette. I love designing in it, and I have a lot of fun teaching all of you some fun stuff to do with it. So just a quick poll from all of you. How many of you are already using silhouette, and what version are you using? Okay, so you're using Designer Edition. Great. Okay, cool. Yes, Designer Edition's a great upgrade. We do sell it on our website. So if you are interested in upgrading to that, if you don't have it yet, that is something that is available for purchase on our website. If you notice on my screen, I am actually using the Business Edition, but the features that I'll be using tonight in our webinar for designing will definitely be something you can use in Designer Edition. So there isn't too much more of a difference between the Business Edition and the Designer Edition. There are differences, but for what we're doing tonight, it won't be too terribly much. Amy, I will have a webinar or maybe even a tutorial video soon where I'm going to compare the Business and Designer Edition. There are some differences. Obviously, the biggest ones do help those of you who do run your business on Silhouette. One of the main differences that I find useful is that you can run two cutters at once. So that's a great feature, and also one thing that I have been working with a little bit more, and I'm trying to get a video up soon, is the Business Edition also comes with a tiling feature, which allows you to cut much larger than your 12-inch cutting space. It'll lay out your cuts for you. So I think the largest I did is I made something that was 2 feet by 3 feet wide. It was just a stencil, so I didn't take any photos of it. But we're working on getting some good comparisons out for you to see if that's something that you want to try to do. So I think I'll go ahead and get started. All of you have a basic familiarity with the Silhouette Studio software, correct? Or any of you, how would you rank yourself? Beginner, intermediate, or some of you even advanced? So intermediate, that's a good place to be in, intermediate, right in the middle. Great. So we have some intermediate, some beginners, a little bit of both. So I'll go ahead and work on some designs for all of you. I don't have a set plan for the webinar, so if there's anything that you want me to focus on or anything that you want me to go over, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to go over that with you. I want this webinar to be what you need to get out of it. So don't be shy and let me know what you need. If you are, don't be shy about asking questions as well. I'll try to get to them as I see them and as I have moments to answer them. But Nick from the call center is also in here, and he'll be answering questions for you. So you can go ahead and ask away. And if he says anything about me, don't listen to him. He's actually my husband. So don't let him pick on me. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to first, before I start designing, I'm going to fix my design space. As you can see, it's very large. It was from a webinar I did yesterday. This is actually my third webinar this week. I've done one every day this week. So I'm just over at my design page settings. I just went ahead and changed it back to 12 by 12. So I have the standard 12 by 12 workspace. So we'll go ahead and get started. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the basic features and basic things that you can do with Silhouette. Have any of you gotten any requests from customers to do any state monograms or personalized states for your business? Yes, definitely. It's something that is very popular. You see it all over Pinterest, and it's fairly easy to make, and I have a lot of fun doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my fonts, and there is a commercial-free font that is great to use for states. It is a dingbat font or webdings or whatever that word is. It's a shape font, and it's called Typeface. So this is a font that you can download. I downloaded mine from fontsquirrel.com, and you can use this in your finished products. So that's a great thing to look for, are commercial-free fonts, because you don't have to worry about anyone coming to you and saying that you're using their stuff. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to look for it. So Typeface are states. So if you actually look for the type Typeface, you'll never find it. So you can go over here, and I'm just going to type a state, a key on my keyboard, and it'll give me a state. So I actually don't remember which ones are what. So whatever I type will be a surprise to all of us. So I'm going to type a G. Hey, look at that. So if you see, I'll go ahead and fill this in. Look at this little state. And this is actually great because we have a nice edge for here. So, and that was just a lowercase g that I typed. So now you know, here's lowercase g. And if you double click, you can edit your font a little more, because I haven't converted this to a compound path. So I have this right here. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you how to do, oh, Florida has too many curves. Teresa, Florida doesn't have too many curves. I don't remember which one it is in here. Hold on. T? No. Well, I wrote it down a really long time ago. Teresa, you are picking on me. I don't know. Maybe I can have, maybe if Nick is listening in here, he could Google search what that is on the Typeface type. Maybe if Nick is in here. So I'm going to go ahead and work with this state for now, and show you how to do something fun. So one thing that's really popular is to type home. Have you seen that with this state? You can type home. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to convert this state to an outline. So I don't want it filled in, but I want a thick line around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my state, and I'm actually going to turn off my fill, and I am going to go over to my offset panel, and I'm going to create an offset. So it's up to you whether you want to do an external or an internal offset. I a lot of times prefer an internal one, because you can maintain the outside of the shape a little bit more. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and do a external offset. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. The standard offset is 0.125, but I'm going to bring it up to about 0.140. So it's a little bit larger, but not too much. So go ahead and hit apply, and that you'll see both of these lines here. I'm being told that lost audio. Can the rest of you hear me? Am I still talking? Are you still? Okay, so you can still hear me. Oh, I feel so bad. You have to hear me talk. Okay, so if you can't hear me, well, I don't think you can hear me telling you this, but maybe Nick can let you know that if you can't hear me, you can always come out of the webinar, come back in, or push a button. I don't. But we're going to go ahead and move on, and hopefully it can help you out with that. So now I have my state and my offset. So you can see if I move this, it doesn't move the whole thing. So does anyone know how to group this, how to make this one continuous shape? Those of you who are in my webinars pretty often should know it, since I like doing this. Connie, I do have your design. I can go. If you can if you can export that design as a Silhouette Studio file, I can actually open up on my computer. So go ahead, if you can email it, then I'll have Nick send it over to me. Okay, so for these two lines, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select both lines, and I'm going to make it a compound path. So what that means is a compound path is that it's a shape with a line on the outside and a line on the inside. So Silhouette will read that these two lines make one shape, as opposed to this is a shape and this is a separate shape. So now that I have this, I can go ahead and fill this in, and now I have my outline here. So the next thing I want to do is I want to write home on here. So there's a couple different places, but I like this straight edge right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick out a typeface to work with. I think I'm going to, I just installed a cute one, and I don't exactly know the name of it, but I know it begins with an M. I know. Nick always makes fun of me that I never remember exactly what I'm doing. I never remember names. I just know what things look like. Are any of you that way? He gets so frustrated with me when I tell someone how to get somewhere because I say, yo, you go to the house and there's a tree that looks a little bit funny, and then there's a street, street sign, and a dog's usually next to it, and he hates it. He hates it so much. But I don't remember the font name, so I'm going to use my other favorite font. So this font's called Grand Hotel. This is also commercial free. I try for you guys to use commercial free fonts because I would hate for you to use, oh, I'm just going to type it over here. Sometimes my Silhouette just doesn't give me a good reaction. So I'm going to type my font, and then I'm just going to go over here and convert it over to the font that I'm looking for. Maybe. Ugh. Are you guys having this trouble with your Silhouette as well? I don't really have a whole lot of things that I have trouble with, but I don't know, after that update, this kills me. So if you're having this trouble, you're not alone. I mean, I teach you guys stuff, and I still have a problem. So if you look over here, this is a script typeface, and since I've typed these separate letters, they are still showing as separate. So what I want to do is I want to weld that because I don't want my cutter to cut these. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I'm going to go over to modify, and I'm going to weld this. So I have my home, and it's in one shape, and I am going to go ahead and fill that in to make it easier to work with. So I have home, and what I want is I want it right on this edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it to line it up with that edge. And so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see. And it looks pretty close. If you can see, one side is a little bit higher than the other. So I'm just going to bring this closer. So now I know that this goes at the same angle, and this font's called Grand Hotel, and I got it from fontsquirrel.com. So fontsquirrel.com is a great website to use because all of those websites are commercial free, so you don't have to worry about guessing if you can use it or not. They've already taken care of the guessing for you. So go over here, and I'm going to stretch it out to about the size that I want it to be. And I want a little bit of space between the two of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to put it right there. So next thing I need to do is I need to use my knife tool because you might think that you could just go ahead and weld this, but I don't want this line in between there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my knife tool down here. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And I love using the select zoom. I think it's really helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut right here. I think I cut my E a little bit. Oh, that's okay. And then cut right here. And I'm cutting a little bit crooked, but that's okay. If you want to cut in super straight lines, you can always hold down Shift and it'll give you the right angle. But as you can see, I've now separated this little bar from here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And now I can put my home right here. And so you can see there's a little bit of space there. There's a couple different ways you can adjust that. You can either stretch out home, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the points. So I'm just going to go over here and zoom in a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch all of this out. So I'm going to bring this over here, bring this over here, and bring this over here. And it's okay if you don't have them perfect, because this is actually going to weld with the home anyway. So now we have that, and you just look over here and you just make sure that these are touching so you can see that they're touching. So that's great. So I'm going to go over here, go to my modify, and I'm going to weld. So now I have this shape all set. So you can do your home shape like that, so you can just do an outline, or you could also knock it out of a shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more shape, state shape for you, and then we'll kind of do something else. So I'm going to type it. Someone give me a letter, and it can in capitalized or lowercase. Someone give me any letter. Okay, I got capital M. So I have capital M. So I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to bring it down here and change it over to Typeface. So that's also from fontsquirrel.com, Typeface. Oh, look. I thought for a minute I was going to get Florida, but I didn't. So here we are. So this is nice because it has a nice straight line. And this, I believe, I am going to sound so dumb if I'm wrong, but this is Idaho, right? This is Idaho. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, I hope I'm not wrong. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to show you another way that you could personalize this. It's Idaho. Okay, whew. I earned my high school diploma. So for this one, I am going to type my name. So I'm going to go ahead and type my name, Lisa, L-I-S-A. And I'm going to convert it over to Grand Hotel again because I love that font. So I'm going to go down here and just scroll down. Oops. Here's Grand Hotel. And of course I want to weld it. And then because it has a dot on the I and the L, you also want to group this. So group it, and then I always like to fill it in to make it easier to work with. So I want my name to be in the state, a little bit in the state, a little bit out, or maybe even in the state. So I think I'll do it this way. So I want to do it this way, but I also want the name to stand out, and I don't want to have to press vinyl on top of vinyl, because if you go over here to my cut settings, you'll see that it's going to cut this shape, but it's also going to cut my name. So there will be some bulk there, and especially if I'm going to make this in glitter vinyl, you don't want to layer glitter vinyl on top of it, on top of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my name, and I want to do a little bit of an offset. I want some space in between there. So I'm going to go to my offset panel and hit offset, and you can see this is actually a little bit larger than what I need, so I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to bring it to 0.1 and see how that looks. So that looks good. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get rid of that offset and do another one, because I think that's a little bit too big. So I'm going to go back, hit offset, and so I'm going to do 0.0, oops, I'm so sorry I hit my microphone, you all, 7. So that looks a little bit better. So I'm going to go over here, and now I have my offset selected, and I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so next, what I want to do is I want to take this shape and knock it out of Idaho. So I'm going to select both, and I need to make sure my shape is on top, which it is. And then I'm going to go over to modify and subtract. So now it has taken that out of the state. And so whenever you have this large shape like that, after you modify it, you need to make sure you go back and group it because it breaks up this shape whenever you do that. And so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to bring my Lisa back there and I'm going to just use my arrows to find the right spot. So that looks nice. So we have our Lisa right there and we have it knocked out of Idaho. So that's another way that you can do a custom design and it's a fairly quick process. So I'm going to go over here and grab one of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell Nick where I need to have him put that file. So 1 second, you all. Nick's over here. Oops, I sent that to everyone. I'm sorry. I forgot to change that, but I know Rudy's done that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create something. What do you think? Do you want to do something with rhinestones? Oh, you got your white glitter today. That's exciting. I know we run out of it pretty quick. All of you want it as soon as we have it. Okay, let's do something with rhinestones. So we're going to go over and what I'm going to do is I know that Matt loves to do his sports designs, baseball, all of that, but I love everything girly, everything Pinteresty. So what I'm going to do is I am actually going to do a bow. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to open and I'm going to grab this bow. So right now it is just a JPEG or a PNG. So what we need to do is we need to convert this over to a vector so I can work with it. So I need to trace it. So I'm going to go over to my trace window, select trace area, and trace it. So you can see I already have a line on there, but you want the whole shape to be yellow. So I'm going to check high pass filter because that looks for the edge. And it already looks pretty nice. So I'm going to go up and bring up the threshold a little bit and bring down the scale to make it sharper and trace. So now we have that. I can delete that bow. And now we have our little pink bow here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, I'm going to type a name. Give me a cute, well, just say any name that's not your own. Adeline. Okay, I'll type that. That's a pretty name. Adalyn. Adeline. So I'm going to type in Adeline and just going to scroll down to get a pretty font. I won't use Grand Hotel again. I'm going to do something good. I got to pick something real good. Oh, here's a cute font that I got. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to weld that because this is a script font so you can see those edges there. So Adeline. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, modify it, and weld it. So now I have this all together and we can bring that there. So I'm going to go over here and color that in. So we have our Adeline. I'm going to bring this up. And let's say we want the bow. We want to put the bow right on the corner. What font is this? I think it's called Confetti or something along those lines. It was written in the script, so it was a little bit hard for me to read it. So what I'm going to do is I actually haven't tried this shape before, so you and I are both going to know right up all together if this works or not. So let's say we want to do the bow right here. So I'm going to grab both of these, and what I want is I need to make a copy of this name because I'm going to modify it and this will go away. So Adeline's on top, the bow is on the bottom. I'm going to select both of them, modify, and I'm going to subtract. So now I've taken the name out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and group this. So you can see I have this taken out and it's exactly right there. So what I want to do is I'm going to see how this looks converted over to rhinestone. So I'm going to go over to rhinestones and let's do a radial fill. So we have our rhinestones and you can always adjust them, or I always like to convert rhinestones into SS6. I think it's cute smaller, but I know that you guys have that SS10 is a very common size, so I'm going to go over here and have it as SS10. So let's bring this back. You can see it doesn't overlap perfectly, but that's okay. So what you can do is you can either just change a couple stones around or modify it, whatever's best. So if you can see where the letters should be. So you can do is you can grab this, you can release your rhinestone. So if you look over, now we've ungrouped it, and now we can release rhinestones. So you can see every rhinestone is on its own now. So you can go in here and modify it whichever way is best for you. So we already have some overlapping stones, so you don't want that. And part of that is because it's the spacing. So you can always go back and bring the spacing in and all of that. So maybe not the best one, but let me go ahead and do a couple more rhinestone designs for you and see what we can do. So we'll go over here, and I always like doing multi-deck rhinestones, so I'm going to go over here. Oh, that's not what I want to do, sorry. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to bring that bow back in. And I want to trace it. And bring my threshold up a little bit, my scale down, and trace it. So I can get rid of that, and I'm just going to copy this and bring this back into this file. So what I'm going to do is I am going to fill this in, and I am going to do an offset on it. 0.125 is pretty nice, so I'm going to hit apply. And so now I have my offset. I'm going to select my offset, and I'm going to convert that to rhinestones. So I'm going to do a rhinestone edge. Oops, I actually selected the bow. So I'm going to do a rhinestone edge. And now I'm going to bring this bow right back in there. So, and also, if you look, if I have my bow a little bit off, I love using my alignment tool. So I'm just going to go over here and center that. So I have this bow centered right into this outline. And because I haven't ungrouped this offset, if I stretch this out, the rhinestones are resetting themselves. So if you can see, the circles themselves are staying the same size, but they're adjusting to the size of the bow. So you can go over here and do that, and you can kind of have some fun with all of that. So I'm going to go over here and group it, and I'm going to bring this up to the front. And we have this up here. So what you can also do is you can bring this down and fit this right into this part. So if you see, I can go ahead and center this in here. Oh, I don't want to do that. But I have this centered in the middle, and then I can just bring this up. So what I'm going to do is you can see I can bring this down just a little bit, and I'm not overlapping any rhinestones. So I'm going to go over here, bring this over, and now I want to copy this, paste it, take this one out of the way, and select, and then I'm going to get these rhinestones out of the way because I don't want this to get confused. So I'm going to go over here, select this, and of course, subtract it. And now I have this name taken out, and I want to group this back. And now, because this is grouped, I don't have to worry about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab both of these, and I'm going to center them so that they're all together. I'm going to bring this back, and now I can put Adeline's name right back in there. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll just use our keys to get it in the right spot. And this does not have an offset, so you'll get it precisely in there. So it's almost like doing a little knockout as well. So you have your little knockout design, and you have a rhinestone outline. So that's kind of how you can do a custom design right there with your little rhinestones and a bow and all of that. And oh, am I going too fast? Do you guys think I'm moving a little bit too quick? Do you want me to repeat anything? Okay. Well, if I do go too fast, let me know. Don't be afraid to say, "Whoa, Lisa, slow down." I hear that I speak quickly, and when I'm in silhouette all day, I do move fast. But you know, I also hear that Matt moves very quick as well. So it all works out. Can you hear me now? Am I back? Ugh. I bumped the remote on my headset and muted myself. I do that all the time. I got a headset with the little remote so I could quickly mute it, but then I move in my chair too much and I bump it. I'm sorry, guys. Teresa said I was flirting with Nick. We're in actually totally separate rooms. He's over in the call center and I'm over in the marketing department. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put a background on a design. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do an anchor with the chevron pattern. That seems to be pretty popular right now. So I'm going to do, I think I do have an anchor in here. Yeah, I do. So I have my anchor here, and I'm just going to put this to the side for now. I don't need it for the time being. So I'm going to go over, and you can make your own pattern. I believe I have some silhouette pattern in here that I already need. So yes, I'm just going to use the zigzag border that came with silhouette. You can of course create your own and make any shape you want, but I'm just going to do this for the time being for the ease of this. What do I call this technique? I call this, I guess, making a background. What I'm going to do is this anchor is going to have that chevron shape in there. And actually, you know, I think I'm actually going to just do a circle to show you what I mean. So I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to do it about this size. And now I can just go over to my replicate panel, and I am just going to duplicate it below. So it's just duplicating it, and it's doing a nice even spacing for me, so I don't need to do too much. But so what I'm going to do is one thing I want to show you real quick that is a really cool feature about silhouette is, let's say I have this, and I'm just going to copy and paste, and I'm going to put this really close and this far away, and then I'm going to paste this. And so see how I have all of these kind of mixed in, but I want all of these to be spaced evenly. One thing you can do in silhouette is you can grab all of these and go to your alignment, and you can space it vertically. So what this is going to do is this is going to space this evenly vertically. So you can, it has this exact spacing, and then of course you want to align the center because I did do that a little bit. So that's one thing. If you have a lot of things and you want to space it evenly, that's a fun thing to do. Otherwise, I'm just hitting this, and what I'm doing is I'm going to my replicate panel, and I'm duplicating it below. So we have our little chevron pattern. I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to just stretch them out a little bit. So for this, I'm just going to do this in a little circle for you to show you. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to hold down Shift and make a circle. And so don't forget, when you hold down Shift, it makes things even. So you want to hold that down if you want a perfect circle. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put my circle in here just to see the spacing. And I always like to make a copy of it. So I just copy and paste it. I always make a copy of it in case I mess something up, which I'm really good at doing that. So I always try to be safe. So I'm going to go over here and fill in my chevron so I can see all of that. And I have my circle here. So you can see I have all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to do that. And so what I want to do is I want this chevron pattern inside the circle. So I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to go over to my modify panel and I'm going to crop this. So it's going to take everything out from the outside of the circle. So I hit crop. So I'm going to go back and show you again. So I just hit crop and it cropped everything from that circle. Go back, crop. So you just make sure you have your circle on top and then you crop it out. So now I've made this chevron background for my circle. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab all of these and I'm going to group it together. So I have this group together. And one thing to remember if you are cutting this is just to double check your design to make sure you don't have any really, really tiny pieces. So if you see over here, this piece might be a little difficult to weed. And right here, there's like a little tiny straggler. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to point edit this and get rid of that. Oh, I need to ungroup it first. So I'm going to point edit that and just, I'm going to right click that and delete this point. So now I smoothed that out. So I'm just going to go over here and put that together. So I'm going to regroup this. And now I can take my circle, and because this is all grouped, you have it all together. You can take my circle, and I'm going to do an offset so I can make it a thicker circle. And then, as always, with two circles as an offset, you want to make this a compound path. And this is being recorded, you all, so if I am moving quickly, you will be able to view this later. So go over and I'm going to make this blue for now. And so I can take this circle and put it on my alignment tools and center it. So now I have this centered in the circle. And even if you want, you can also do this and grab both of these and weld it together. So now you have your shape here. And one thing to remember is when you do weld it, sometimes you are going to get these little straggler points. So you do want to go in here and point edit and get rid of some of these. So you can go in here and you can see that you have a couple extra ones that you don't want. So you can just hit delete. So you have that. So you always want to double check to make sure you don't have a whole bunch of little pieces in there, but that's how you kind of do a shape in a circle, a little background. Do you want me to go over that again? Oh, how did I do the chevron? That was just a line I already had. If you've hooked up your cameo cutter, you probably already had this. So what I did is I just hit my library and I went to my downloads and it was down here, zigzag border. So this was something that just came programmed when I plugged in my cameo. So I just grabbed that so that you could see it. I'll go ahead and do another one for you so that you'll have everything that you have. So I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to do a bunch of circles. So I'm holding down Shift. I'm going to do different sizes. So I just made my circle, all of that, and I'm going to move this one a little bit. And I want to make another circle. I'm actually just going to copy and paste this. So I'm going to go over there. So I have my circle here, and let's say I want to take this out of a heart. So I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I have a heart in here. Yeah, I do. And I'm going to take this fill out. So always what I love to do is whenever I do make a shape, I always try to save it in my library to make it easier. So I'm going to grab all of these circles, fill them in, and I'm going to bring my heart down. So let's say I want this shape to be inside my heart. Well then, just like before, I'm going to grab all of this and modify that. and I'm going to crop it. So now I have that. One thing I forgot to do is I forgot to make another heart. So I need to go over there and grab this and make another heart so I have something to work with. So I'm going to go over here to my modify, crop this, and now after I group that, I'm going to go over here, and now we have your heart inside. You have your circles inside your heart. And sometimes I've noticed that I've had a little bit of a weird issue with my alignment tools. That's something that if you do have that, just check it to make sure it is aligned. But now I have this little polka dot background on a heart that I could use. So making backgrounds I think is a lot of fun. I've been trying to do that a little bit more. I'm going to go over here and fill this in another color so you can see it. And then I need to send this to back. So you can have that, and you can have your little shapes in here. If you do want to just have this one shape together, you would just go over here. I'm going to turn off my fill and bring this over here. Going to zoom in. Just bring this together, and then you have your shape here that you can go ahead and weld that. Oops. But you have that you could do. So that's one shape that you could do. Felicia wanted me to do I don't sweat, I sparkle. Okay, so I can do that. So I'm going to go over here. And for I don't sweat, I want to do like a really blocky font. So I'm just going to type it in first. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to type it in all caps just to be safe. Wow, I am doing really bad today on that. So I'll go over and I'm going to go ahead and grab our impact font because it's a nice thick font and it's pretty straight. So I'm going to go over here and I'll do I don't sweat. And so we have this. Oh, and Lisa just asked, is that the same technique as adding letters to a circle? No, it's not, but I'll actually show you how to do that with I don't sweat. So I have I don't sweat, and I'll go overhead and I'll fill it in, of course. Fill this in, and now I want my circle. So I'm going to hold down Shift and do a circle. So I have my circle, and that's about the size I want. I can probably make it a little bit smaller. And so what you want to do is when you work with these fonts, you want to make sure you are editing the font. So when you edit the font, that's how you can change the shape of everything. So to edit this, you want to double click it, and now you have that green box around it. And then you'll see this textile panel come up. So you know that this is something that you can modify now. So I'm going to go over and I'm going to grab my little compass tool, and this is something that you can move around with. So go over here and hold on. Excuse me, I got something caught in my throat. You're going to grab this compass and you're going to bring it and you're going to put it right on this line. So that compass will find where the line is so that it'll know where to wrap around. So now you have I don't sweat, and I'm going to bring my character spacing in a little bit. It got a little stretched out. So I'm just bringing in my character spacing, and now I just want to move it a little bit more. So I'm going to do that, and I'll put it here. So now I have it around this circle. But one thing to remember is if you keep it as text, then as soon as you delete the circle, it goes back to a straight line because it's still reading as text and it needs that circle to stay. So what I need to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go over and convert this to path. So now this is basically a shape. I can't double click it to change it. It's a shape. So I have it this way. So I'm going to stretch it out a little bit, and I can make it whatever. So that's how you wrap it around a circle. Lisa, I do see your question. I won't be able to answer it today, but send me an email and I can do a quick tutorial video and I'll send it to you on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to go over here, and I have this over here. I have a file that came to me, so I'm going to go over here and open this file for you. So I'm going to bring this over here real quick so I can grab it. 1 second, guys. So I'm going to open a file to see if I can get this over for you. Okay, let's see. Football tattoo. Okay, so this is a design that Connie sent over. She had asked how to separate this football out of here so that she could put something straighter in here. So how to do that, it's pretty simple. So what you want to do is, it looks like I can edit this. Yes, okay. So what I need to do is I basically need to just grab my knife tool and cut this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my knife tool and cut right here. I don't know why that message just came up. And then I want to cut right here. So now it has separated these shapes. So if you look, I can take this out and then delete it. So if you see here, these are a little bit of a straight line because I edited it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my point edit tool and zoom in a little bit more. And I just need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and curve it a little bit. So all I did was I clicked on it and then brought it up to curve it. So go over here and then I'll click here and curve it a little bit more. And I've just corrected. So I was able to take that football out. So, and then if you did want to put football in there again, I'm going to go ahead and mirror this whole thing so I can type in it. So I'm going to go over here and mirror it and then flip horizontally. So now I can read it this way. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in football. And I'm just going to use the basic Arial font. So I'm going to go over to football. And I'm going to make this other color so you can know it's what I edited. And I'm going to make a shape. And I want this to be like a curved one. So I'm just going to make an oval. And bring this up a little bit. And I'm going to grab my football. And you can see it'll grab whatever shape it finds. So you just have to be careful with it. So I have football, and just to show, you know, how to do it, I'm going to go ahead and just convert this text over to a path so you can see that. So I'm going to convert it to path, and then I can get rid of this oval and then adjust it however you see fit. And then it's all ready to, if you're cutting on HTV, you definitely want to mirror it. And then it's all ready to be cut if that were the end of what you wanted to do. So that's a quick thing. I know that I had asked in a previous webinar if you needed help with anything, I could help you with that. So obviously you would tweak it around to make it easiest on you. But that's a quick thing. And Connie, it was you know, it wasn't hard at all. So sometimes you just need someone to show you how to do it. So we have probably about 5 more minutes. Do you all have any other questions you have, or is there something that you wanted me to go over one more time? I don't want to go too far over because I don't want to keep you all, especially those of you on my coast who are waiting to eat dinner. Rhonda, that's a great question. This video is being recorded, and we will have it up on our YouTube channel probably within the next 2 business days. I'm going to try to get up within the next 2 business days. So you can go over to our YouTube channel, and then I will have, we have playlists in there for TRU webinars, and then also silhouette tutorials. So I'll have it in both playlists for you to find, and also it'll be in our recent uploads. So definitely go check that out after the fact if you want to go back and see anything. But did any of you want me to repeat anything, or do you have any other questions? Oh, and I was told a little while ago in the state face font, Florida is a capital I, as in I am. So if any of you are from my neck of the woods and you want to do Florida in the state face type, that's how you do it. That's where it is. So, great. So, as always, if you have any more questions or if you have any special requests for a tutorial video or more webinars, you are always free to email us at info@the World, or you can call us at 941-755-1696. And I'm more than happy to figure out how to do something or show you the right way or send you over a tutorial video. I don't mind at all. I love doing that. I know that a lot of people have asked me, the font site that I've been using is Squirrel. So go ahead and check that out. For those of you who have been keeping up with our Facebook and some of the designs that Matt has been putting out, I do have another webinar on Friday where I will be going over the mascots, the Magic Cut mascots, and how to design with those. So if you are trying to do some sports designs, I know we're coming close to back to school. I'll be working on that with you guys and showing you some things that you can do with it. And I believe next week we have a TRW lounge. So if you do have any questions on silhouette or even marketing, I am the marketing manager here. I do manage all of our promotions and social media. Then you can always come in and we'll do what we can do and hang out with you. So hopefully I'll see you on Friday. Keep an eye on our calendar on our website and our Facebook page for our upcoming webinars. Oh, thank you. She said I did a good job at marketing. I try to do a good job. And if any of you are in the area, are any of you in Florida or within driving distance to us in Bradenton? Are any of you close to us? Missouri. Well, I guess everything's driving distance if there's a road near you. California. Okay. Well, I'm glad a lot of you are all over the country. If you are close to the LA area, we are at Long Beach. We're going to be at the Long Beach show the next 2 days. So you can go see Matt, Rudy, Doc, the rest of the crew over there. And but if you are near here, we are having a grand reopening open house next month in August 15th. So if you are within driving area or if you're already planning on coming to Florida for vacation, we'd love to see you. I think we're going to have some really great food and games and demonstrations and a tour of the warehouse. So that's a lot of fun. And also, if you want to take another vacation to Florida, we have just finished up an information packet and we're going to get it listed very, very soon. But we are going to have our in-house training coming up. And we have one in September and we have one in November. So these are geared towards Corel and Stone Wizard. So I don't think I'm going to be teaching any silhouette there, but I will be teaching marketing and using social media. So it is something that would be fun for you to come do. And if you are thinking about upgrading to the Corel and Stone Wizard, this is a great opportunity to come. And if anything, take a vacation in Florida. I know a lot of you are in California, so it's pretty nice there as well. But if you don't want to take a vacation in Florida, those are some great opportunities that you could take us up on to come see us. So, and one more thing, I'm not going to give you too many, actually, no, I'm going to save this for later. I have a surprise coming up for you all a little bit later, but I'll have to save it. So if you are coming to Florida, our closest airport, we do have an airport in Sarasota, so we have the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, but we also have the Tampa Airport, which is a bigger airport, so a lot of people will fly in and out of there. So those are a couple options for you. We are, I think, probably 5 miles from the Sarasota Airport, so if you do find a flight that's pretty affordable and goes into Sarasota, then we're pretty close. So I don't have any coupons today, but maybe in the next couple webinars I'll have some for you. But with that being said, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. As always, you can call us or email us 941-755-1696 or info@therhinestoneworld.com. I'm also in the crafting page fairly often, so if you're on Facebook, you can look up Crafting with Rhinestones and Vinyl, hosted by the TRW crew, and I am Lisa Rhinestone in there. I know it's a big surprise, but I am Lisa Rhinestone. So I'd love to see you on Facebook. I'd love to hang out. You can give me a friend request. We can be friends. And until then, hopefully I will see you on Friday. So have a good night, all of you.